is night number 2 of the Happy Painter Quilt Along. So, the previous video, night number 1, we did all of our cutting. We did our sewing of our strips. We cut all of our solid pieces out. We started cutting all of the combined pieces out where I learned I had a mistake in the pattern. So I'm going to finish cutting out the combined pieces tonight, and then hopefully move on to actually assembling the quilt. And then next Monday, hopefully we finish assembling the quilt. So next Wednesday, we can actually do the basting, quilting, and binding. Fantastic. Yes, happy little clouds, yes, yes. Okay, remember guys, if you are in chat, feel free to ask questions as we are moving along, because this is an interactive tutorial. So if you have any questions on anything we're doing, please feel free to ask. There are no bad questions at all. At all. Because if you don't know something, it just means you haven't been exposed to it yet. A cute fabric, background fabric. Oh, that would be cute, capes. Yeah, too bad you didn't think of the tree type fabric before, but that's okay. All right, so I'm waiting for my iron to heat up. Before I do that, I'm going to switch over to the iron cam and show you how you're going to iron your strips. This is where we left off on Monday, so I'm going to re-show you how to do this. So if you, oops, I keep forgetting this camera's over here. So if you watch a little bit of the YouTube video on Monday, then you know this part. Whenever you cut your strips in half, what you want to do is you want to iron them in opposite directions. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? For everyone that came over in the Casey Renee, hi, I'm Tony. I am a professional geeky quilter. I do this for a living. I have my own line of patterns you can find in quilt stores around the world. In my stream, you get quilting, sewing, giveaways, free things, and animals. All of our giveaways are done on the hour, so you are going to get a giveaway for that raid, but we're going to do it on the hour. Hey, Chelsea, how are you? Yeah, an arsenal of Bob Ross quilts? Yes, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. And guys, please go follow the amazing Casey Renee cosplay, because not only is she an amazing person, and she is my friend, but guys, she's going to teach me how to make a bunny suit. Because we are doing a bunny cosplay for the, for Dragon Con. It'll be a lot of fun. It's funny, the other day I had somebody look at me and they say, you know what? You should cosplay as Wendy. And I smiled and laughed and I said, oh, hey, you want to hear about this thing we're doing? Yes, the bunny hutch. It is the bunny hutch. The bunny hutch. I know, right? Right? Hey, Geeky Quilter. No, I said I was a Geeky Quilter. But you are Geeky Quilter as well. So yes, yes. All right, so we've got our strips ironed. In this case, it's being ironed towards the black. This is ironed towards the light blue. So now what we want to do is nest those seams. Yes, that's exactly why I picked this fabric, capes, because it looks like clouds. So let's nest these seams. When I take these seams, now I'm using my fingers and my nails. This is why I get them done, because they're instruments in quilting. We want to actually move this up. So as you see here, these lines are perfectly lined up. So these seams actually tuck into each other. So what you want to do is press this up until you feel that it's tucked into each other. There we go. So now, I'm taking out my Stripology ruler. All right, where was I? Blue and black. I need one set of the 3.5. That is my paper scissors. Oh, and I sharpened my rotary cutter. I used my rotary cutter sharpener for the very first time this morning, so we'll see how it works. Okay, so a set of that. And 4 sets of the other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, making sure that's right. All right, so let's see. Uh-oh. Well, it didn't quite cut it all the way. I must not have pressed hard enough. And I'm just going to use my scissors. Because sometimes with rotary cutting, you just may not be pressing it hard enough. And if that's the case, just press down harder. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3. Now remember, and 4. I said on Monday that I split them out into 2 separate sets. It actually was very easy to use and figure out, Minion Mama. It really, really was. I split them out into 2 separate sets. This set, everything is going towards the black fabric for the seam. It's pointing that way. In this set, everything's going towards the blue fabric. It's pointing that way. So we've got these. We're done. Set that aside. This is now extra. And moving on to the next one. So let's switch it to this view. That way I don't have to keep switching back and forth, going back and forth to the iron and the table. Now, I've had people tell me before that the sharpeners were really easy to use, so I knew it was probably easy to use. It was just the first time I've used it. Here we are. That's towards the black. Now, my goal is to constantly have one of these quilt-alongs going at any time. We are not going to have one in the month of May because in the month of May, we have St. Jude coming up. And you guys know how much St. Jude means to me, and you know how much we try to get St. Jude stuff. Oh! Casey, are you still here? Casey Renee, are you still here? I have St. Jude news. Okay, so this is black and tan. There we go. Really? I have one set for this long strip. What was I thinking? Yeah. St. Jude announced today if we raise $2.5 million during prize season this year, they will have onesies as an incentive for 2020. St. Jude onesies. Okay. Changing this. I know, right? Isn't that amazing? Okay. Okay, half. And we don't have to trim this. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so tan to black is now a half, and tan to light blue is now a half. Okay, and that's gonna save some
Thank you for subscribing to Quilt.
Hyper Zen
Grab your needles and
Girl!
head down to the sweatshop. I mean, factory.
A little late with this boop.
Thank you so much, Hyperzen. I super appreciate you. Thank you so much for that resub. You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to count those yet. Let's see if there's anything else. Because look at that. That's a waste. Yeah. No. I don't know what I was thinking. I made this a year ago. I don't know what I was thinking. So close. Oh, is it 8 months? Hyper Zen Girl, 8 months. That's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So now let's do the black and light green. Okay, so for those of you that, if you're following along right now at home, if you still have the old pattern, it is, all I did was change a couple of things. Your pattern is still valid for the things that I changed. I'm just making it more efficient so there's less cutting for the future. I can't believe my pattern testers didn't catch that. So anyways, like I was saying, my goal is to have... Oops. Towards the green. My goal is to have
Hold on to your batting,
What is
folks.
another what?
This is not a drill. The
Star
factory
Killer!
is being raided.
Star Killer, thank you so much for bringing your friends over. I appreciate it. Guys, don't forget to give Star Killer a follow. Thank you so much, Star Killer. For those of you, if you have not seen me before, hi, I'm Tony. I am a professional geeky quilter. I do this for a living. I travel around to conventions, stores, and guilds, teaching, lecturing, selling my wares. In the Strim, you get quilting, you get sewing, you get giveaways, you get free things, you get animals. Right now, I'm in the middle of doing
Congratulations, you have just followed Quilt Tony. Your taste must be exquisite.
Oh, Atomictronic, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Right now, I am in the middle of doing a Happy Painter quilt along. So we have people that have joined us doing this quilt along with us. And right now we're on the stages where we're cutting all of our combined strips. This is going up on YouTube, which is why you don't see any announcements on the overlay. Come on, there you go. So, and it's also, if you need to rewatch it and catch up, feel free to pop into the YouTube. All I'm going to do on the YouTube is cut off the beginning when I chat a bit, cut off the end when I chat a bit, and cut off the giveaways in the middle. So, speaking of giveaways, you guys just earned a giveaway for that raid, and we're going to do it in about 30 minutes. So, it's 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Oh, it is, kitties? It is, the emotes are. Thank you. I thought I turned it off. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me know. Because I don't want them on the screen because you may not be able to see what I'm doing. So we have to make sure that we don't block what we're doing. Hey, Arcani! How are you? It's okay, Capes. I am moving a little fast with this one. Whenever we debut our worldwide quilt along in June, where we do one block every week, I will go slower, I promise. Hey, Crafty Miner Gal, how are you? I do quilt. I do Star Killer. That's nice. It's nice. Well, I did do some pinning today at the family center for quilts. So Friday, after I finished the monthly quilt giveaway and I finished the Pokeball quilt for the Gen Con classes, we may be able to do some timing. doing some giveaways for timing. Really? Yeah, you're right. That's really weird. I have no clue why. Remove. I wonder if it's because it's a different stream. Alright, let me do this really quickly. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me look at this. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let me do this. Copy. There you go. There you go. Oh, nice, Star Killer. I have to work in 10 minutes. Yes, yes, Arcana, yes. Alright, so I've got 6. I need how many? 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I should have 2 more of these. Yes. Okay. Making sure. Okay. You're welcome, Capes. I know. I know. It was probably driving you crazy. I know. I know. We can't have that. So, yes. So, on... What I was saying is on Friday... After I do the monthly mini quilt giveaway, I'm going to finish off that Pokeball quilt for Gen Con. And then, if I still have time before 8 o'clock when we give that quilt away, we're going to play some How Fast is Tony? Where you can guess how fast I am for pixels. And pixels, for those of you on YouTube, are my in-stream currency. If you want me to make you personal things, you want pixels. See you later, Miss Elving. Hey, Kabuki, how are you tonight? Alright. And I need 11 more of these babies. This is why I like the Stripology ruler. I am not endorsed. I do not endorse them. They are not, and I'm not an affiliate. I do not have any, get paid at them, anything at all. In fact, I paid for my Stripology rulers, but they're amazing and I love them. And you see how fast it is that I can get my stuff done. There we go. I just need 1 more. Now, if you're quilting along with me at home right now, yes, I go fast. Especially if you don't have a Stripology ruler, you're not going to go as fast as I'm going. It's okay. If you're live with me on Twitch, that's why I give you time between the streams. If you are watching on YouTube, just pause it until you finish with that color. There we go, and that's it. I know, right, Capes? I also enjoy ironing those strips. There's something that is aesthetically pleasing about it. Okay, there's that. Next, I have light blue and brown. Go. And how many light blue and browns do I need? One set of those. Come on, what? There we go. And then 2 sets of those. Okay. There we go. All right, set that aside. Oh, I forgot to move these over. Okay. Next, we have tan and light blue. It's funny because this light blue throws me off because I normally use this for backgrounds for a lot of my pixel quilts and pixel designs. But in this case, it's the color of his shirt. So it throws me off because I think it's a background, and normally whenever I have something for a background, it only ever touches the outline. So I'm like, why is there a tan and a light blue touching? This should not be a thing. There we go. Okay, so tan and light blue is 2 sets of that. It is a happy cloud shirt. And we've got that. Okay, and next, we've got tan and brown. Guys, we're almost done cutting our strips. We can actually start laying our pieces out. When we get to laying the pieces out, I'm going to show you how I do it, which is pretty efficient. It's hard to explain in the patterns, though. So I say in the patterns, just lay everything out. Although not a lot of people have space for everything. So I know a lot of people just lay out one at a time for the rows. Thank you, Impistry. It's funny, I was explaining who Bob Ross was to my massage therapist. Because remember, I live in Canada. You get a 50-50 of people who know who Bob Ross is here. Because they didn't have PBS here. They had their own Canadian public television. And he wasn't on there. So when I run into Canadians sometimes, and I talk about the Happy Painter and things like that, they're like, who's that? So I have to explain it. Alright, so brown, tan and brown. Okay, 3 sets of this. Okay, and then 3 of that. Fantastic. Yes. That would be awesome. That would be fantastic. Making one with a canvas of squirrel fabric. That would be cool. I agree, Daenerys. Everybody needs happy little trees in their life. Well, see, and the way I explained it was that I said he was a somebody on public television in the 80s that had a very soothing, gentle voice, and he believed in it's okay to make mistakes. And when you make a mistake, you just turn it into a happy little tree. And it's okay. Thank you for being here, Arcana. Have a great day at work. I appreciate you. No, Capes, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do a pattern with goofy fabrics at all. It is your sense of style and design. Don't change that. All right, last set, and then I'll redo my math for the corrections in the pattern. Well, you know what? I'm not going to redo the math. I'm going to make sure I'm going to wait to make sure my pieces are right, to make sure there's no problems with that as well. Yeah, there's no such thing as a mistake. There's only a happy little accident. Same thing with quilting. If you make a mistake in your design, turn it into something unique and original. Pretend you did these things on purpose. Yes, exactly, Capes. Exactly. Channel the Bob Ross. All right, so black and white. I need 3 sets. And then 2 sets. There we go. All right, I'm done with this. It can go away. Marley, honey. All right, come here. Oh, there you are. Is that better? Are you happy in the stream chair? Is this now Marley's stream? Exactly, Daenerys. I meant to do that approach to art. There we are, and that is extra. Okay, so here, this is all of my scrap. I'm just going to set this aside. Let me set it over here. Set that aside there. These are for my borders, so I'm going to set them aside as well. I'm not going to need these. He must not have wanted to be a bush. He wanted to be a mountain approach. Yes! Yes! Exactly. Because you know what? Maybe that tree doesn't want to be a tree. Maybe that tree wants to be a mountain. You ever thought about that? Maybe that tree wants to be a mountain. All right, so let's do this thing. Now, I'm going to hide the dog camera. Oh, you know what? Let me remove this because we're having issues with that overlay. And I'll put that new overlay in there, just in case, because we've been having issues with that. And I'm going to... Where did I put Bob? Bob, there's Bob. Alright, so I'm going to take that away because I want to show you how I lay this out. So this is important, okay? So what I do is I normally put my pattern down here, okay? So it's right behind where the event thing is. So this is my pattern. And then what I do is I lay out all of my fabrics so I can see each fabric. The ones I know I'm going to use the most, which is the backgrounds, I put closest here. I put right here for the ones I'm going to use the most. Thank you so much for those bits. I super appreciate that, Jack. Thank you very much. Alright, so this is all of... There we go. So these are the ones I'm going to use the most because these are the backgrounds. And then what I'm going to do is lay everything else out. So it looks like we have a lot of brown and black. So let's lay those out. Now I don't have a lot of those, so I'm going to put those up there. And it looks like I've got a bunch of black, so I'm going to lay that there. Let me get rid of my pen. Hey, roll check! Alright, and let's do some browns. And some light blue. And some black and white. And there's not a lot of that, so I'm going to lay that up there. I'm trying to find the ones I don't have a lot of and put those up top. That way I'm not leaning over to get them. Oh, there's only those, so I can put those there. There we go. And I can do that. Okay, so now I'm starting to run out of room, okay? So what I'm doing now is I'm going to look and see, okay, let me look at my pattern. Is there anything I'll use first before the other stuff? It looks like I'm going to use that dark blue before I use the light blue. So, I'm going to use that dark blue before that light blue. There we go. I've got those. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to cover the light blue with the dark blue. And there's no more light blue. There's nothing else I can do. Nope. Okay. And then I'm going to consolidate some of this stuff. The stuff I don't have a lot of. Because I want to be able to see everything as I'm laying it out. Nope, here's some light blues. I will cover those with dark blues. And here's some more light blues. There's no dark blue to cover, is there? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to lay those right there. Because the light blues I'm going to get to. Okay, so does everyone understand how I lay all these pieces out? So this is basically my way of looking at everything. So as I'm reaching it, I can grab it. And I wanted you to be able to see this. I like how I did take the tip cup away. Okay, so let's put all that stuff back again. Because, you know, you need the dog cam. This wouldn't be a Tony stream without the dog cam. Okay, alright, so now we've done all this. We've done all this. We've done this. It's time to do this.
Congratulations, you have just followed Quilt.
I thought I did that. Geek Prime, thank you so much for the follow. Exquisite. I appreciate it. How? I swear I turned off the alerts. How did they not? I bet it reset for some reason. Well, I turned the emotes off. Yeah. For some reason, I got that. Is Marley visible through the hole in the tape? Aw. Hi. He is. He is. He's a good boy. Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Hey, Demented Cat. You're funny. Okay, so now I want to start going through line by line, okay, of all of this. So how I do it is I have scrap paper. Scrap paper. Okay. Once I can find my other scrap paper. I totally forgot to plan this ahead of time. Okay, all right, scrap paper. So what I do is I do it line by line. So I only see that line. Hi, Geek Prime, how are you today? We are doing a quilt along with the Happy Painter. So this is how I do my lines. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. And I've got that lined up. So I'm going to start at the very top and work down. If you've seen my streams before, you know I normally work from the bottom top, but I'm working along with my pattern. So I'm, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do the way I normally do it. I like to go bottom up because I'm weird. I'm weird. Hey, Teal Old Man, how are you today? I'm weird. So I like to go bottom up. All right, so let's go that way. Let's go the bottom up. So I'm going to start over here on page 16. And I'm actually going to move this. So I'm actually going to start with the bottom row. And I'm going to lay the bottom rows out. All right, so in the bottom row. Now, the reason why I like to work on from the bottom up is the bottoms tend to be the more complicated part of the quilt. So, yeah. All right, so this is how I do it. Now, whenever you sew pieces together, you're going to sew 2 pieces at a time. Okay? So, that's my very first piece on the left. My next piece is a combined green and black that points to the left. Make sure you look at those arrows to see which way your seams are going to be pointing. Thank you, Teal. That's awesome, Teal Old Man. I'm glad your day is done. So, this is pointing to the left. So, I need to make sure I pick up this piece that has the seam pointed towards the green. So, you see right there how that seam is pointing this way? So, it's like this. So, it's pointing that way. That's what that arrow means. Your seams are pointing to the left. To the left. So I've got that piece there. I'm going to take this second piece and I'm going to set it right on top. To me personally, that tells me that those 2 pieces need to be sewn together and they need to be combined. So the next piece I've got is a black and brown. So I've got that. Now, in this case, the seam here is pointing up towards this brown. My next piece is a small black and brown, so I need to have that piece pointing down to the black. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one right here, and the seam is pointing down to the black, because then when I sew these together, see how that nests in there? So these 2 seams are pointing in opposite directions, and in fact, let me show you this one right here, and I can actually show you better here. So you see in this case, it's pointing towards, it's pointing towards the brown. Okay? In this case, it's pointing towards the black. So whenever I lay them up and I sew them together, you see how those 2 seams are pointing in opposite directions? That is what's called nesting the seams. Oh. Sorry for that double mic. I had to reinstall my camera today because it wasn't working, so I had to reinstall it, and I forgot. I forgot that it automatically turned the microphone on. Okay, so I will repeat that again because I'm sure that I blew everyone's ears out and that you weren't paying attention. All right, so in this case, the seam is pointing towards the brown. Okay, and in this case, the seam is pointing towards the black. Because we want to make sure that our seams go in opposite directions. Because then when we lay them on top of each other to sew along this line, see how those seams are pointed in opposite directions? So whenever I go to line it up, I'm just going to make sure that that is perfectly lined up. I can't push it any more than what it is. And then whenever I sew it, it's going to be a perfect line. It's going to be a perfect seam. Hi, Stacy. I'm so sorry with those headphones. I am so sorry with those headphones. I didn't mean to kill you. I am so sorry. All right, so I've got this towards the brown. I've got this one towards the black. Next, I need to go a green and black towards the black. A green and black, doesn't matter which way it goes, because it's not nesting against anything. But the next one does. So this one goes towards the black. The next one goes towards the other one. Yes, because I killed you with headphones. Nice job, Snoop. Nice job. Okay, so towards the black. So I need to go towards the black with the brown. And then I need to go opposite. So towards the brown with the black. There we go. And then a solid black piece. Where did I put the solid black piece? Oh, there they go. I could not find where I put those solid black pieces. I love you, Capes. Nice, Capes. Nice. Okay, and then here, I need that. Doesn't make a difference because it's not going on any seams. And then this piece here. Now you notice the pictures that are in the pattern correspond to the correct pictures that you need. Oh, Minion Mama, I'm so sorry. And there. Okay, towards the green. So this needs to go towards the brown. Yeah, I need to remember to turn off the mic whenever I do that, right? Okay, so remember, I grouped these in groups of 2. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pin them. Okay? Now, in this case, our seams are pointing to the left, right? So on the pattern, the seams are going that way. So that means when I sew it, and this is the tricks that I'm using right now to speed up the efficiency of the quilting. So when I sew it, I want to iron it so the seams are going that way. So what I do here is I take this, and I take this left piece, and I flip it over the right piece. And what that does is once I sew it, and then immediately iron it, because I'm going to sew it, and this piece is on top, I'm going to iron it, and when I iron it, see what happens? It's pointing to the left. So I'm skipping a couple of steps in this one thing. So you pick up the left piece, flip it over the right, and then when you sew and iron it, it's already there. Hey, Malfunct, how are you today? All right, so there's that one. Then I'm going to take the next one and the same thing. I'm going to take this left piece, flip it over the right. Now remember the nesting seams. So I'm going to make sure these seams line up. Once I know that they're perfectly lined up in there and I can feel with my finger, I'm going to take that pin and I'm going to hold it in place right there in that seam just to make sure that it's in there. And then pin the rest. And then do it all the way down. So take the left piece over the right. Now you notice I'm just making a lovely little stack of all these pieces here. Now in this case, I have one of the small pieces and one of the big pieces. Oh, thank you very much, Capes. Okay, so I'm going to finish pinning this and then we'll take a small break. So, we're going to pin this part right here. And there we go. Now, even though there's no seam that I'm nesting right here, I want to pin that because there is a seam on this side. And because there's a seam on that side, as I'm sewing it, this seam could flip and wibble wobble, which is a technical term. So you don't want your seam to wibble wobble. All right, in this case, my seams are going to line up. So I have to move it and make sure that my seam is nested in place. And then I'm going to pin it. There we go. And then the same thing here. So remember, I do the middle first if it has a seam, and then the edges. Now, if you're running behind a little bit, we are going to take a break after I finish doing this. You can catch up while we do some giveaways. You did the wobble all over that quick? Yeah. Oh, honey. right, now I have a single little piece all by its lonesome self. So I'm going to take this little piece, I'm just going to set it aside right there. We're going to make sure it gets put into the fold.
Congratulations,
Whenever we go
you
through
have
there.
just followed Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
School of Nami, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. All right. I thought I learned, oh, no, Michael Jolly, there's a set of 4 streams, honey. That was just the beginning on Monday. All right, let's do some giveaways and continue on laying out pieces for Bob. So we've done our first row. We finished our first row for Bob. Let's go on and do row number 2. So I'm going to lift this up. Row number 2. All right, black and blue. It needs to go towards the blue because remember, this row, all the seams are going to the right. Oh, you know what I should do? I need to have it on that one. All the seams are going to the right for row number 2. So they're going this way. So, what I'm doing now is a black, is the black and blue towards the blue. So towards this one right here. There we go. And let's pair that one up because those two are going to go in together. And then we've got blue and brown. Blue and brown. So that is going to go this way. Now, be careful. It's easy to flip a piece. I do it all the time. Make sure and double check that you're putting them on there the right way. Sadami, thank you so much. Hi, how are you? Thank you for that that follow earlier. I followed you back. I appreciate that. Where were we? We were in someone's stream. Was it in Sushi Coochie's stream? That we followed each other? No. No. It was in someone's stream. I don't know. Someone's stream earlier today. Okay, so towards the brown. Now I need to go towards the blue. Suchis, yes, okay. So towards the blue, and then I need to go towards the black. Today is a different kind of stream for me. We are actually doing a tutorial stream. We are doing a quilt along, where people have picked up this pattern for the Happy Painter, and we are sewing it together. I am also going to be downloading this and uploading it as a tutorial to YouTube. So if I move too fast for people, or they just aren't able to catch the stream and they still want to do the quilt along, they can just watch it on YouTube. Thank you very much. No, he had a little caught in his throat. He has allergies this time of year. He gets things caught in his throat. I know, he's cute. My dog is the cutest ever. My dog is the absolute cutest ever. There we go, we've got that. Now green and black. Okay, so this green and black piece, remember, this row is going this way. To the right. To the right. So we need to point towards the black. Just like that. And then brown and black towards the black. There we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When I don't know if I've done it all right, I count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, this one's a little bit differently than the one before. So, what we're going to do is we want to remember, our seams to the right. So, we're going to pick up this right piece, flip it over that left piece, turn it, and pin it in place. Yes. No, I don't even know where Hestia is. I think she's like sitting up on the steps again. For some reason, she's decided that she just does not want anything to do with me anymore. Yes. Yes, exactly. Double check, triple check. Make sure your pieces are right. So remember, I'm taking this right piece, flipping it over the left, turning. This has a line of a seam. So I'm going to nest these seams. I'm going to make sure that these two seams line up. Let's put a pin on in there. And then pin the edges. So yes, you always want to double check, triple check. Make sure you're doing it right. Daenerys, yes. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. The Electric Company pinball music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even remember the music. It's been so long. I don't remember how that goes. With the counting music. I'm gonna have to look that up after stream and see how it goes. Because you know that's gonna drive me crazy, right? Alright, any questions on laying pieces out or pinning them in place? Anyone have any questions, issues? It's pretty straightforward, right? You're just laying these pieces out and making sure you've got them. Okay. There we go, towards the green. And then towards the blue. And then the big blue. The little blue. Because these are his pants. We're sewing Bob's pants right now. Let's do that one. Now remember, we're grouping them up by twos. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, yes. Okay, the next one I need to go towards the black. Yeah, there's a reason why quilt stores use my patterns to teach kids how to sew. I try to make it as easy and straightforward as possible. And remember, when in doubt, if you're not comfortable doing it this way, you can always just use gridded fusible interfacing and do it that way. Alright, towards the black. You know, it's funny, I was thinking this morning, it's been a while since I actually made one of my patterns on stream. I think the last one was the Spider-Man. Oops, and this one needs to go towards the black. Oh, we're doing the easel legs right now. So 1, 2, 3, and then towards the black. And then towards the black. There we go. Hey, just because you're learning how to quilt for the very first time doesn't mean that you're a kid unless you want to be a kid. Remember, we are only as old as what you feel. So I feel I'm a really old woman. Yeah, oh, you know what my favorite part of this is? My favorite part of pixel quilting is whenever I'm combining the rows together. So when I'm actually sewing all those rows together and I'm actually starting to see the picture, that is my favorite part. Now, if you are watching on YouTube, if you like any of this background music I have, it is amazing royalty-free background music that is provided by Pretzel. If you like the easy listeningness to it, feel free to use Shazam. If you're watching live, Pretzel does put a link in chat whenever a new song starts. So if you like it, you can click on it and check the artist out. I know, right, Daenerys? Like, sometimes I feel like I'm in my 20s. Sometimes I feel like I'm in my 60s. Considering I'm in my 40s, this is not bad. That's not bad. There you are. Now, we have another lone little piece. Our own lonely little piece over here. So we're just going to take that and set that over here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lay out 6 rows before I start doing any sewing. So this is row number 4. So as I'm laying my rows out, if you have any questions, concerns about the patterns, about my designs, basically anything on topic, let me know towards the blue. If you want to talk off-topic stuff, that's Friday stream. That means somebody just followed my YouTubes. All right, towards there. Guys, I do put these videos up on YouTube's. That sound right there meant somebody went to my YouTube's and pushed that follow button. Or that sub button, which is basically the same thing as a follow on Twitch. So if you have not yet followed my YouTube's, go !social, and you can go and you can see all my socials and you can push those buttons. You wonder what that sound was? Yep. Yep. I also keep my streaming schedule on my Facebook and my Twitter, in addition to my Discord. Okay, towards the brown. Thank you so much, Capes. I appreciate you putting those links in chat. Now, you notice how, now that I'm not showing you every single little piece, I'm speeding up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Perfect. Okay, this is going to the right. So I'm picking that right piece up, flipping it over to the left, and pinning it in place. Because when it comes to quilting, I am all about speed and efficiency. So I designed my patterns in a way that I could do them fast and get them finished fast. In fact, I can make a quilt start to finish in a single day. And I prove it 2 times a year by doing special quilts for St. Jude. And I stream it live, the entire process, right here on Twitch. Now, in addition to my social medias and my YouTubes and all my things, I also have a newsletter. If you've signed up for my newsletter, then you got my lovely email today talking about this quilt-along. So we may have some brand new people here in chat hanging out with us. And if you are here in chat, if you have not yet followed me, please make sure you follow me. All you have to do is make a free account. And then in fact, hold on, right here, I believe. I think it's right there. There's a little heart button. You just press that heart button. And then you follow me. Cat facts? No, Robert. Hi, Robert Tables. No, it's not cat facts. It is the Quiltoni newsletter. It is the Quiltoni newsletter. So I actually put my newsletter out to anyone that has signed up, and you can sign up right there on my website. So Capes and Arrows put that exclamation store on the front page of the store. You'll notice on the very bottom, there's a sign up for the newsletter. You know what else is on my website? I now have a reward system. Anytime you buy something from me, whether it's a pattern, a kit, a quilt, anything at all, you earn reward points, and you can get gift certificates with those reward points. All right, next, number 5. Number 5. I've got that. This is going towards this way. So I have a blue and black. I need to go towards the black. Okay, and then a long blue. And then a black and blue. Toward black on top, right? Yes. And then towards the black. With here. Yes, there are pixels here, Robert Tables. And if you want to see your pixels, exclamation my pixels. And it'll bring up your pixels. Okay, and then there. Hey, Capes, don't let me forget. I think at the next break, which is going to occur in 35 minutes, whenever we do the next round of giveaways, I think we need to do a streamer shout out. And have everyone in here be recognized if they're a streamer so people can follow them. Alright, so that's towards the green, so let's go towards the brown. You did such an amazing job with that yesterday. Towards the brown. Fantastic, thank you very much, ma'am. Alright, towards the light green. Towards the brown. And towards the brown. This one's got all sorts of little pieces in here. towards the green, and then a little piece on the end. Alright, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Perfect. Now, remember I said this one? It goes this way. It goes to the left. So I'm going to take this left piece, flip it up over that right piece, and pin it in place. Robert, yes. Whenever you speak in front of people, whenever you give a lecture, whenever you teach a class, Jack, I don't, but if you want to post pictures of your pets in my Discord, just put them in pictures. That's what we put our pet stuff in. I always get a little bit of butterflies anytime I'm going to speak. It's natural. And it's a good thing. The moment that you don't get butterflies before you speak is the moment you shouldn't be doing it anymore. Because what you want to do is you want to take those nerves and take those butterflies and use them. Have them give you energy. Have them energize your lecture. Energize your talk. Hey, whoever anonymous cheerer just cheered 5 bits. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Does that make sense? So the way that I get through it is I just do it. As I push myself through and I just do it. And I take all of that energy and I take all of those nerves and those butterflies and I let them excite me. And I let them give me energy to do what I want to do. Oh, your body saves it up. Alright, let's do this last one, and then I have one more row. One more row. Thank you very much, Ruby. And then we're going to start doing some sewing. We're going to start doing some sewing. Capes and arrows, if you don't know the command for the purple thing, you may want to look it up. Because you know it's going to get talked about. Alright, next. Black. Some solid pieces. Yes, I like solid pieces. Oh, hey, look, this is our last large blue piece. I like it when I'm doing a pattern and I use up my pieces. You know what you did. You're amazing and I love you. You know what you did. Alright, so last one of this. So this goes that way. No. Okay, here's a great example. Okay, in this case, I have one black and blue piece. Okay, it's going to go right here. The problem is this black and blue piece, the seam's pointing towards the blue. This row, it needs to go to the right. So, what do we do when we have a piece that's the right piece, but it's pointing the wrong direction? So my seam is wrong. The seam needs to go the other way. How do we fix this? Anyone have an idea? You would think magic. Unfortunately, I can't guarantee that there aren't going to be some muggles out there. So, it may not be able to have magic. So, you know, any other ideas out there? So, how can we change this seam to point in the opposite direction? I like how everyone's thinking, hey, perms! No, that's what I'm saying. It's not magic. You could use it, but not. We have to do something for everyone. And yes, you re-iron it. So, we're going to take this piece and we're going to re-iron it. So, right now the seam is going down. It's pointing towards the blue. And all I'm going to do after my lovely Aliso iron is warmed up is we're going to, no, we're not going to fold it because folding a malfunct is not going to keep it there. So we want to actually iron it down. You know how these things heat up really, really fast, but when you're waiting on it, it's like a watch pot never boils, and you're just like staring at it and staring at it. Snip! I remembered! It's snip! It just came to me. There it goes. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to iron it on this side first. So we're going to iron it on the wrong side, because remember, the right side is the side with color, the wrong side is the side without. And after we do it that way, we're going to flip this over and then iron it again on this side. There we go. And we have our new piece. And our new piece needs to go towards the black, which is what it is. I know, I wish it did, BB. I wish it had the precog abilities. I mean, one of these days, I know, right, Dawnstar? One of these days, I'm gonna have to be able to, you know, to pick up that precog iron, because that's just, yeah. It's so expensive, though. I just haven't been able to get my hands on it. Maybe I should add that to my wish list. Alright. And then next, we've got those. Alright, so that's towards the black, right? Yep, towards the green, towards the black. What's this?
This is not a drill.
Frickin'
The factory
Nick!
is being raided.
Guys, we are being raided by the amazing, fantastic Frickin' Nick. Hi, Nick. If you do not follow Frickin' Nick, you need to go follow him. He is awesome. He is a Lego builder. Hey, Nick, is the races, the brackets, the races, are they done? I didn't get to see that. Hey, Shani, how are you? Guys, please go follow Nick. He's amazing. Not only is he an amazing, fantastic streamer and Lego builder, but he's an amazing, awesome, fantastic person. And he's positive, and he's amazing, and we love him here. We love him here! Thank you so much for shouting him out millions of times, Capes. Millions of times. Millions of times. Alright, so I've got that. For those of you who just came in on the raid, hi, I'm Tony. I'm a professional geeky quilter. I do this for a living. I travel around to conventions, stores, and guilds, teaching, lecturing, selling my wares. I have my own line of patterns that you can find in quilt stores and sewing stores around the world. In my stream, you get quilting, sewing, giveaways, free things, and animals. Because you guys just came in on that raid, we are doing a giveaway, but we do them on the hour. So we're going to do the giveaway in about 26 minutes. We're going to give some stuff away because that's what we do here. Yes, this is actually a panel quilt that you can get with coins, exclamation coins for that system. We also have pixels. I know, thanks, and I appreciate that, Nick. We also have a pixel system, which if you collect pixels, Nick just got a bunch of pixels because he brought some people in on a raid. You can also get them by subbing, or you can get them by the giveaways. You can use them to then...
Congratulations, you have just followed Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
Uncle Ben, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. You can use your pixels for quilts, for stickers, for all sorts of really cool things. So that's me and our stream. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We are doing a quilt along because I realized I do not have tutorials of my patterns up in YouTube. So we're going to go through my patterns one by one and create tutorials for them. So tonight is day number 2 of 4, where I show you step by step by step how to make my patterns. Speaking of, this is the last row, so the seams are pointing to the right. So that means we're picking up this right piece up over that left piece and pinning it in place. So what did you guys do on Nick's stream today? And somebody answer my question. That really cool, oh, Battle of the Bricks is over. Okay, who won Battle of the Bricks? Because that was the coolest thing ever. So for those of you watching on YouTube, Brick and Nick had a bunch of streamers, including one of our favorites, Bonsai Baby, build things, and it was so stinking cool. They would actually build Lego stuff and race.
Must be exquisite.
It was really, really, really cool. Sept Unreal, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Mrs. Dr. Lupo! Oh my god. Oh my, see, and I've been so busy lately, I haven't been able to tune in and watch them. I've been watching on the social medias though. I've been watching on the social medias, and we were talking about it actually. I know, Malfunct, but you know what? When you lose in a race like that, you lose fair and square, and those things happen. And for those of you that came in, I am a teaching stream. Feel free to ask any questions at all about what I'm doing with quilting, sewing, especially today, because today is a quilt along, is a tutorial stream. But I also, this is my business. This is what I do for a living. So on other streams, feel free to ask me anything about the business. I share my inventory, I share all of my stuff, I talk about business, I talk about profit margins, I do all sorts of things. So you can ask for anything. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for bringing your friends over, Nick. I appreciate it. I super appreciate it. Alright guys, this is it. The first 6 rows. So we have we done up to the bottom of his pants? Yes! So if you take a look at the picture, I have just laid out all the rows up to his pants. So right here. Right there. We've done there down for Bob. Alright, so, honey. Hi. Oh my god. Mr. Floof, hi. I'm gonna have to move you over. It's not time for giveaways. I know it's not time for I'm gonna have to do some sewing here. See, there's a machine. I have to do some sewing. Sewing, okay. He says, no, mama, love me. Wait, okay. All right. There you go. There you go. Okay, stay there with the babies. Stay there with the babies. Okay, so let's do some sewing. You guys ready for some sewing? You ready for some sewing? All right. Let's learn about scrap fabrics and chaining. All right, for those of you that have watched me for a while, you know what scrap fabrics and chaining is. Basically, the theory behind chaining. Thanks for sticking around, Zarania. I appreciate that. I know, right? This is a sewing stream. Technically, it's a giveaway stream with some sewing intermixed in there. So, the theory behind chaining. If you are sewing something, especially quilting, if you have something constantly in your machine, it cuts down on time, and you get the edges locked in. Now, as long as you're sewing over it with something else, and in quilting you don't have to go back and really lock that in using the machine. You can just keep on going. So, let me show you. So, we're going to take that little scrap fabric out, and I'm going to take my fabric in. Now, if you were here on Monday, I talked about this 1/4" piecing foot with a guide. This little piece of metal right here is a guide. This piece of metal makes sure that my fabric has a perfect 1/4" seam every single time. It's really inexpensive. It's a great investment. You can get it at your local quilt and sewing store or online on Amazon. It is amazing. All you have to know is, do you have a high shank or a low shank machine? If you don't know, ask your quilt store. they'll tell you. So I'm going to lift this up. Notice how my needle is down. My fabric can't go anywhere because that needle's in the way. So I'm going to take this piece of fabric and I'm going to put it right up against that needle. So right here on the right, it's touching that piece of metal and it's touching my needle right there. So I'm just sewing along. Now, kids, do as I say, not as I do. Alfred, what are you doing? Do as I say, not as I do. Do not sew over your pins. It's a way you can set the timing off on your machine and you can break your needles. It's a bad habit that I have, but I'm obsessive about making sure everything's perfect. So I sew over my pins. Don't do that. Now, at this point, I'm going to cut off this little scrap fabric I've got there. I don't need this anymore. Okay? I'm not going to need that for a while, actually. So now I'm going to take all of my fabric stack I have right here, and I'm just going to feed them in one by one. So I made sure that I had enough space about here. I have about a 1/2 inch space between my fabric and that needle so I can keep on going. So I'm going to lift this up and just keep on moving on. Now, if for some reason the machine doesn't automatically pull your fabric, you can take this piece of fabric back here and pull on it just a little bit, just to give it enough traction in order to keep on going. Although it should be able to go on its own. I don't know, Kabuki's around, you might. Now, you notice I'm not pulling the fabric. When you're using a sewing machine, you want the feed dogs, and that's what these things under here are. So these, oh, I can't even show you because let me get all the way through. There we go. These little things right here, these are called feed dogs. The feed dogs are what lifts up, grabs the fabric, and pulls it along. Okay? The feed dogs should work, and they should do that. Don't push your fabric in. Don't pull your fabric out. That's going to change your tension. The tension is the way that the thread kind of does that, and it holds it together, and it could make it all wonky if you pull or you push. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to pull and push. Let the feed dogs do their job. I wish someone would have told me that whenever I first started sewing. Because I used to run the fabric through. I would push it through and I'd pull it through and I'd run it and I'd do all the things. And yeah, no, my seam, no. My thread was not good. My tension was not good at all. It is, yes, another technical term. Thank you very much, Minion Mama. Wonky is a very technical term. All right, so this is row 1. Hey, Moon Witch, this is row 1. Row 1 is done. So now I'm going to start sewing row 2. I'm not going to put the scrap fabric back in there. Why am I going to do that? I'm just going to go right back on with row number 2. Because remember, I am all about efficiency with sewing. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to mess up my row 1s with my row 2s. So at this point, I'm going to cut this. And then, so I'm going to take my row 1s. Okay? I'm going to set my row 1s aside. Hey, McKay! How are you today? And then I'm going to start sewing my row 2s. Now, one of the reasons that I use this cheat machine whenever I do my piecing is because I sew over my pins. I do not want to damage my expensive machine. The second reason is my expensive machine is old and I've done so much on it. The feed dogs are a little bit worn down. So the feed dogs actually work better on my cheap machine. Alright, so I've finished sewing row 2. Here comes the fun part. Here comes the fun part. This right here is an amazing tool. It is the Cutting Gizmo by the Gypsy Quilter. This was not given to me. I do not endorse them in any way. I purchased this and I could not do what I do without this. I love this thing. It is fantastic. So at this point, remember, I've sewn all of my row 1s just like that. So now I'm going to separate them. I'm going to start from the back and snip them and work them down. Okay, so I've got them started from the back. There we go. I couldn't find my other, Grabbit. Grabbits are amazing. Metallic, no, I'm sorry, they are magnets in a plastic dish. They're great to stick your pins. They're awesome. It is, it's the purple thing, So now I've got them laying down here. Now I'm gonna reverse the other way and I'm gonna take my pins out. So if you do not sew over your pins, you may want to do your purple thing from the front, because you want to make sure, whoops, that the very first one that you have laying down is the top. So if I look at my pieces, no, it's the bottom. Okay, this is the back. Okay, so if I look at my pieces, the one that I have on top right here is the very last piece in the row. And that's important because we're going to take this over for ironing. This is the efficiency, right? This is how we're doing the efficient stuff. We're going from one thing to the next. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to set it right here on my cutting mat. So this is what I just finished sewing, snipping, and taking those pins out. And I've got that sitting right there. And we're going to keep on moving on, because I'm going to sit and I'm going to do all my sewing all at the same time, because that's what's efficient. That is what is efficient. Oh, yes. Oh, Grabbits are great for when you're working on computers with tiny screws. That is an amazing idea. In fact, I have this one I purchased. This was given to me by Grabbits. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. They're actually mini Grabbits. It's 3 mini magnetic pin cushions. So they're mini Grabbits. It says just like the original Grabbit, but triple the fun. This would be great for those little screws. Oh, Malfun. Then they're not Grabbits. They're not the official Grabbit. You gotta get the official Grabbits. Okay, let's move on. Let's do row number 3. I know, right, Dawnstar? They're amazing. You can get Grabbits at your local quilt and sewing store, and they're also available at Joann's. Now, there are other brands. In fact, I have purchased other brands. They're not as nice at all. So the reason why I like the Grabbit is the metal dishes. It's really easy to grab these. See how it's a smooth area? Just the ergonomic area of this. Yeah, right. Oh, that's cool, Malfunct. And stuck a... Well, see, that's a way to do it yourself, Minion Mama. Exactly, Robert Tables. This is not a sweatshop. I don't know why. I don't know why people think that I have a sweatshop. I mean, it's not... It's not a sweatshop. I mean, I don't put people to work whenever I collect them. Just ask Cast and Samuel's Creations oh my god. Oh my god, my brain is blank. Who just got who's pregnant? Who just announced that she's pregnant? They really are. Magnets are amazing. Alright, so let's set that aside. And next, and see, I'm just going along. Nerdy, yes! No, not nerdy. Nerds and crafts, not nerdy. Nerds and crafts, that's it. Thank you. Yes, so ask Nerds and Crafts. She was behind my my booth at TwitchCon, and I may have immediately put her to work. I mean, if I am working, if you put yourself behind my table, you're getting put to work. That's just how it is. You're getting put to work. Oh, I don't know about that. And Soleil, you're fine. You're very cute, but you're fine. Oh my god, Alfred, why are you not under your covers? Look, Alfred, oh, my thread just came off. Alfred's giving me the look like, but mommy, I want things. I want things, mommy. Yes, the proof on this video is if you get near me, and yes, I hit the pin. If you get near me, oops, that's what I thought. I have to redo this one. So whenever that came loose, see what's happened? It nested a little bit. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the cheater's method, and I'm just gonna re-sew over it just to make sure it's good. Because I'm all about doing it as fast and efficient as possible, but you want to make sure you do it right. There you go. All right, so that one's done. Thank you so much, Don Starts. Remember, today there are no alerts. It's right in the stream title. There's no reading of the bits, and there's no treats for the dogs because this is a tutorial. We are uploading this onto YouTube, so we're not stopping what we're doing unless it's on the hour, and then we're doing our giveaways. But thank you for those bits. I appreciate it. Robert, if you want me to put you to work, you know I will. Don't, and I'm going to make sure that you do retail correct. I don't want you to come into the booth and just sit there and do nothing. I'm going to make you work. Oh, day 2. Oh, you're saying there's proof? Yes. Yes. Yes, of whenever, with Nerds and Crafts? Yeah, whenever she, for day 2. Yep. No, I was streaming at the time. I'm really looking forward to TwitchCon this year. It should be a lot of fun. Why are you undoing yourself? It keeps undoing itself. Okay, no, it didn't have any tension issues. So I'm good. So I'm just gonna start right there. So what's happening is this thread up here is starting to come loose a little bit. And that's just because this is a cheat machine. I do not recommend machines like this if it's your first time sewing. In fact, I am in the process of thinking of little easy YouTube videos that I can do on what is a good fabric. How can you do fabric selection for quilting? Batting selection. What is the differences in batting? Why you would have different battings? Thread selection. What's the differences in the threads? Stuff like that. And then I'm also going to talk about choosing a good machine. You know, what do you need to look for in a sewing machine as a new sewer, as an experienced sewer, as things like that. Oh, I appreciate that, Robert. Yeah, no, we will have an amazing time. And make sure that you do not schedule anything in the evenings. I know of a few people that are planning events that you may want to go to. And of course, there's always the Creative Suite. For those of you that were there last year, Vex has put the deposit on the Creative Suite, and we're going to talk about it in June. So after St. Jude is done, and we're getting ready to kick off our worldwide quilt-along, we'll start talking about TwitchCon and the Creative Suite. Speaking of heroes in capes, oh no, Robert, it's amazing. The Creative Suite is an amazing place each evening that you can go and you can meet other creatives and programmers and basically anyone that falls under the creative tag. And you don't have to go to a bar. You don't have to go to a party. It's a safe place that you can go in order to network and to just have a lot of fun. Yep. It was a lot of fun. Exactly, Hyper Zen Girl. Oh, you and those words, Robert. All right, guys, this is the number 6. That is number 6. So, we're going to go ahead and separate these. So this is row number 5. Welcome back, Impistry. There we are. And we've got that. Remember, guys, if you're sticking around, in about 4 minutes, we're going to do some giveaways. Because we've earned some giveaways, and the amazing Capes and Arrows is going to do a streamer shout out. So make sure when she does that, you follow the people. Leave him alone, Marley. There, he's under the blanket. Leave him alone. Marley wants to play with him. Marley always wants to play with Alfred, so that's what he was trying to do, is play with him. And Alfred was like, nope, nope, I'm done, I'm done. And Marley knows if Alfred is under the covers, you leave him alone. Alright, so now I put my scrap fabric in there. Because remember, I want to continue that on. And in fact, let me show you this. So you notice, this is my edge. You see how these two fabrics are really, really malfunctioned? Malfunct? Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. I love you. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. Soleil, no. Thank you. Alright, so you see here how these two fabrics are really sealed together. I know. Thank you. Sandy Lou Who, you have to do exclamation love, space, and who your love target is. So, yeah, so it's sealed together. So it is good to go. No, and you didn't interrupt. That's just giving YouTube a little taste of what happens in my stream. Guys, remember, if you... Oh, that's what I forgot to put. Maybe I did put it. I don't remember what I put in my description of my YouTube video today. I don't remember if I put my... I think I put join us live, watch live, and I put my Twitch stream. But I don't remember. But thank you very much again for those 5 gift subs. You're freaking amazing. So, you were gifted a sub to J Bar Homie, ID something, Digits Play, Thermozeus, Stick Girl or Stock Girl, I never can remember, and Atomictronic. You guys are now subs. You have my undying love and affection. You have the emotes, and of course you just got some pixels. Yes, I agree. Watching the things live is better. All right, so we have got our 7 rows all sewn and ready to go. I just have to do the next step with iron and assemble them. So we are going to take a break and we're going to do some giveaways. Let's take a look at this. So I've taken the very first stack. So this is row number 1. So row number, I keep forgetting I moved the camera over here. Good night, Daenerys. Thank you for being here. So this is row number 1, okay? I just picked it up exactly like I put it down, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out. I'm going to start on the right, and I'm going to lay them out one by one. Oops. I had an extra piece in there. So laying them out one by one, okay? So these are all of my pieces. Thank you so much for following the YouTubes. I appreciate it. So I've got this all down there. All right. Now this is nice and warm again. So this is how you iron these pieces once they're sewn together. You're just gonna pick this up and iron it just like this. There you go. Now, if you did your seams correctly, if you did your nesting of the seams correctly, you have perfect points. And then you're just going to go down the line. Go down the line, doing the ironing thing. down the line. Oh, I think I need some water. My steam is getting low. There we go. And that's it. Now, here's the trick. Here's the trick. I'm going to pick it up from the right. Because remember, this is the last piece in the row. This is the first piece in the row. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to go the opposite way of where I've come. So they're all still in the same order, but this one right here is right on top. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have an odd number of pieces. But look over here. I've got this lone little piece right there. You like that, Dawn Star? So now this little piece right here. Now, in this case, let me look at my thing. It is to the left. So I'm going to take my seams, and I'm going to make sure they point to the left. I'm going to stick it right on top. Now I have an even number. Okay, I have an even number of pieces. Now, here's the trick. It's going to the left, right? I'm going to take this piece right here and the piece under it. And I'm going to look at my pattern just to double check. Sure enough, that is correct. And I'm going to pick this up left over right and pin it in place. Remember to do the seam in the middle first and then the edges. So this piece right here and this next piece right there, we're going to take a look. Does that look good? Yep, that looks good. So I'm going to take this left piece over the right piece, pin the middle, pin the edges. Everyone got that? So this piece and the next piece, that looks right. Left piece over right piece. And pin it in place. And then last but not least, that of course looks right. Left over right. And pin it in place. There we go. All right, now let's do the second one. So I'm going to switch to that one so I can bounce back and forth and you can see all the things. So let's lay this out. I actually like to count it when I'm laying it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have an even number. There are no pieces here to be done, so this is going to be nice and even. Now, this is important, and I will show you why. Because remember how I said those little pieces at the end, those little abandoned little pieces, you want to make sure that you incorporate them? That's what you're doing now, is you're making sure that you incorporate them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming over here. Now this one, my seams go to the right. So my seams are pointing to the right. And then this is how I do my efficiency. I set to the side, I take this piece, and I pull the second piece down, I flip, and I do. Now, remember, these are to the right. I am still, even though these are going to the right, I am still taking my left piece, flipping it over my right piece. The only time you're going to flip your right piece over your left piece is in the initial assembly. Every assembly after that, it's always left over right. Always. Keep that in mind. That's how you keep efficiency. That's how you go quickly. And that's how you get all of your seams correct. Alright, and there should only be 3 of these. Two, 3. Any questions at all about this process? About the ironing, flipping, and pinning? You guys got it? I like how no one is talking because everyone is frantically sewing along. Or if they're not sewing, they're doing another kind of craft or coding along. Because this is what happens in my stream. I love lurkers. I love people that are doing something along with me while I'm creating. Because you know what? If you're in here and you're lurking, you're getting your coins. And you get coins. You can turn coins in for free quilt patterns. You can turn them in for these quilts behind me off the wall. You can turn them in for pixels, where you get some custom things. You're eating dinner along? Nice. Nice. Ooh, diamond painting. That's awesome, Amber. All right, this is number 3, so this goes to the left. Oh, I forgot to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, here we go. All right, we have a new issue. Ready? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 pieces. I have a lone little piece here that I have to incorporate. Hey, Nix, how are you? Fantastic. I love sewers. I hope you do well in your costume in your competition, your cosplay competition this weekend. What are you sewing? I know, right? So we don't want to, now these little pieces, we don't want to leave them all out and lonely. We want to incorporate them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this stack right here. We're going to set it right on top of this lonely little piece. But now we have an odd number. If I'm just going to pin and put those together, that lonely little piece is still going to get left out. And we don't want to leave anyone out here. So we're going to take this one that's already had its chance to be combined, and we're going to set it aside. And now, when we turn this, and we sew these together, when I get down to the bottom, we have incorporated that lonely little piece, and nobody gets left behind. See, that's the way that I like to think about it. Whenever I count all my things, and I want to make sure they're incorporated. Oh, fabric roses. Nice. What character are you doing? Now, in all seriousness, the reason why you do this is if you're combining it this way, what you want to do is make sure that it's even. And you'll see why. Whenever we start combining the 3 and 2 pieces together in the final run through, the passes is what I call the final pass, you'll see you don't want little tiny pieces stuck out. You kind of want it a little bit even all the way throughout your sewing. All right, so let's do the next one. There we go. Oh, wait, I forgot to put water in. I'm going to do it right now. It was okay for this one, but it won't be for the next. There we go. Water, water, water. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's nothing to combine. So I have another odd number. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes to the right. So remember, when we have this odd number, what do? Do I take the top piece or do I take the bottom piece off? Carmen from Persona 5. Ooh. There was a cross-stitch square from Persona 5 in the St. Jude quilt that I'm doing that I actually laid out today. Pictures are in Discord under pictures if you guys want to see the layout for the St. Jude quilts. You cry and take... No, you don't want to cry and take all the pieces. You don't want to cry and take all the pieces. Oh, I love you guys. I love you. So in all seriousness, 1D, honey, 1D. Thank you very much, Malfunct. I try. My patterns are simple enough that hopefully anyone can do it. As long as you can use a sewing machine, you can do my quilt patterns. All right, so am I setting aside the top piece or the bottom piece? Oh, I like that. I like that, Capes. If you can do it, anyone can. Yeah, yeah. All right, so top piece or bottom piece? What am I taking aside? You should see some of the yes. Anyone? Top. Thank you, Capes. Because now I could leave that bottom piece because remember, it's already sewn together. But I took the top piece on this one for consistency and you don't confuse yourself. You leave the same piece through every single row. And that way you're not confused. So we're going to take the top piece off and set that aside. And then now we got it. All right, so let's turn this and do it. So you always want to make sure whenever you're sewing, no matter what you're sewing, whether it is hand sewing, whether it's garment sewing, whether it's quilting, you always want to make sure that you don't confuse yourself. And as we know, Tony confuses easily. Trust me, there's reasons I have this stuff in place. I've done it. I've done it. I confuse so easily. So these are the things that I have put into place so I don't get confused. All right, next. This is number 6. Now, and again, you're probably not going to iron this fast either. That's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this goes to the left. All right, I've got 7 pieces. It's going to the left. I know, right, BB? So I'm going to take this top piece, set it aside. And then turn it. We're going to take this top piece and let's sew these in place. Guys, if you are just joining me, if you haven't been around for the past few weeks, you may not know what's happening in June. The 3rd Monday in June, I am launching the very first worldwide quilting stream. What this means is I am going to be in partnership with quilt and sewing stores around the world. And I'm going to be streaming from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time every single Monday. Hi, Dead Killer, how are you? And at the same exact time, these quilt and sewing stores around the world are going to be showing the stream and having a class. And we're going to be quilting along. What are we making? We are doing a 12-block video game homage quilt. So, more information about that on Friday's stream. I'm actually going to show you guys some info on Friday. Info on Friday. Info on Friday. All right. Last but not least, row number 7. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. And there's no leftover pieces. This is fantastic. You know it, Capes. All right, this is going to the right. So, we're going to take this, we're going to flip it, we're going to pin it in place. Because, I mean, you know how I am. All right, right, and we are pinning our last row, so we're going to get ready to start sewing again. Now, of course, if you don't have enough room for 6, lay out 2 at a time. That's fine. There we go. All right, so let's switch to that, and let's do some sewing. So I've got the first row. Let's cut off that little scrap right there. Oops, there goes my phone. I'm dropping things. It happens a lot. Guys, don't forget, St. Jude is coming up. My St. Jude streams are May 2nd to May the 12th. This is how they work. For every $5 that you donate to St. Jude, you get 1 ticket to win one of 2 quilts. Now, you can win both quilts, but I am going to be making 2 quilts on May the 12th, start to finish. They are quilts where people have been making their favorite video game scenes in cross stitch and mailing them to me for the past few years. So I'm turning them into 2 quilts, 12 blocks apiece, and giving them away to you. This is the 6th time I've done this. These quilts in the past have ranged in price from $3,000 to $7,000. This is the first time we're going to be doing a raffle to give them away. In the past, they've always been auctioned off. So the value of these quilts each are about $5,000. So we're going to be raising some money for St. Jude with them. In addition to a ticket to win those quilts, every time you donate, you get a ticket to win from the sponsor of the day. I have some amazing, awesome, fantastic sponsors lined up. Guys, you're going to love these sponsors. Seriously, you're going to love these sponsors. So these sponsors are really freaking cool. And each of them is either going to be doing a matching, giving product away, or both. So you definitely want to tune in for that. I am going to publish a schedule right around the St. Jude Summit time where you're going to be able to see each of the sponsors and which day they're going to be. I'm going to publish my entire schedule with times, dates, and sponsors. So that way you'll know ahead of time. Now, I'm not telling you what they're doing, but you'll know who the sponsors are. In addition to possibly winning the quilt that I make on the 12th and winning the giveaways of the day, for every $100 that you donate to St. Jude in my campaign, if we raise $5,000, you get 1 ticket to win this chair. Not this chair, the next chair. The chair that they're giving away this year. Not my chair I'm sitting in right now, but St. Jude will mail you the chair. You can live anywhere in the world. Not just North America. And you do not have to donate $100 all at once. If you want to split it up over multiple streams, you can do that. So you can donate $50 here and $50 there. As long as you've got at least a $100 donation, you've got a ticket to win the chair. So, if on May 12th, when I do all the giveaways, if we've raised at least $5,000, we'll do that giveaway as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun, some amazing, cool things. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get started. All right, we have, one more after this. Unfortunately, the chair, you cannot have me sign it. Because that would cost me money to have them send it to me and have me send it to you. Because the chair is coming right from St. Jude. So if you want me to sign the chair, you have to bring the chair to me at an event that I am doing and I will sign it. But I am not going to pay for all that shipping to send a really heavy chair. this. If you put your chair together and you bring it to someplace, or you just bring the top someplace where I'm going to be, I'd be more than happy to sign it. So yeah, so I'm very, very excited for the St. Jude season. I have a lot of really cool sponsors lined up that you guys are going to love. Love! Exactly. Like, this box, this thing was heavy. It was ridiculously heavy. And I had them send it to my US address so they didn't have to pay duty and customs, because St. Jude picks up the tab. Guys, when they send you the chair, if you live outside of the US, you're not going to have to pay the duty or customs on it. They prepay it for you. St. Jude picks up that tab. Yes, McKay, I'd be happy to sit in the chair. I would be happy to sit in the chair. Alright, so let's keep on ironing and pinning. Alright, number 1. One, 2, 3, 4. Scooch over. And this is to the left. Robert, shoot me a Discord message. Shoot me a Discord message. We'll talk. Because there's things that we can do. If you there's two ways that we can go about that. But yeah, we have to have a discussion. Maybe a Discord voice discussion. Shoot me a message. We'll talk about that. A gamer to St. Jude. Demented cat. Oh. No, Demented cat, you only have as much chance as anyone else that donates at least $100. Because that's the thing. Remember, the chair is for people that are the high donators. The people that donate at least $100. They're the ones, and you get one ticket per $100. Now, remember, you don't have to do it all in the same stream. So you can spread it out. That way you get chances to win with some of those sponsored streams. I love that. Your cosplay. No, even you can't rig that, Capes. Yes. Because I'm like, I have a chair. I don't need a second chair. I wanted to be able to give back to you guys and do something. Okay. We have an issue. Okay, ready for the next teaching thing. So, this is our second pass. Okay? Second pass. We've gone through, we've sewn it a second time. Now, I go to pick this up. This one, the seams are pointing up. They're pointing the wrong direction. Because remember what I said. No matter what, we're doing left over right. So it's not going to go along with what we did. So in this case, if I were to iron it just like this, these seams are all going this way. This seam right here would go opposite. It would go up and those seams would go down. You don't want to do that. So this is how you fix it at this point. You take it, you flip it over. Flip it over. Flip it over. Make sure you flip over each piece as you do it, and it is right. Yeah, donate the 10,000. Yes, I know, right? If only she had the money. If only she had the 10,000. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you would get how many entries to win the chair would you get if you donated 10,000? 1,000? Yeah. You would get 1,000 entries to win the chair. All right, and then you're still picking it up left to right. I know, right? Me too. Guys, and don't forget, to the right. For every pattern you purchase from me in the month of April, I'm donating $2 to St. Jude. For every sub that I get, I'm donating $1 to St. Jude. So all those amazing gifted subs that Malfun keeps doing, yeah, I'm donating $5 for each of those 5 gift subs that he did. So yeah, no, I'm still doing that. No, it'd be 1,000. Because 1,000, oh, each 100. Oh, you're right, Demented Cat. Each 100, 100. Yes. $10,000 divided by 100 is 100. You're right. Yep, you're right. Yep. Okay, so here's another teaching moment. Here's another teaching moment. I only have 3 pieces. It is still a lot of entries. I have 3 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it like I normally do and pin this like I normally do. And then I'm going to take this piece right here and flip it over the other way. Turn it and pin it. And this is why you want to have a nice balance of your pieces. There we go. And that one is done. All right, let's do this one. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. This is going to the left. Now remember, this piece over here, our lonely little piece, that is the first. Hi, Fleshed. We are doing a quilt along with the Happy Painter. So, I have the first one on Monday on YouTube if you want to watch it for the first couple of steps. And this is also going up on YouTube if you want to rewind and watch the rest of it. It'll be up tomorrow. All right, so this lonely little piece over here, we're putting it right on top. And we've got that there. So, we've got our 4 ones. We're going to turn it, and we're going to pin them in place. Thank you very much, Impistry. I hope that I can show you guys new things every single time. That is my goal. My goal is to teach and show you new things and new tricks. There we go. Alright, and then next up, same thing. So, in this case, remember, these seams are pointing up. Hey, Thusius! So what you want to do is you want to flip them over one at a time. And then iron them. Now, at this point, you know you've done it correctly if all of your seams face the same direction. And in this case, they do. Alright, so left to right, pick them up, move them over. And 1, 2, 3, 4, this is to the right. I'm going to take this little piece here and put it right there. There we go. Alright, and then row number 7. One, 2, 3, and then there's a 4th. And it looks like seams go to the left. So you're going to take this and put it on top. Because remember, it's all about efficiency. Infantry, I think I may do the same thing. Yes. I do the same thing where I hoard patterns and then never use them. them left to right. Speaking of patterns, I know I just said it, but don't forget. Every pattern sale I make in the month of April, I'm donating $2 to St. Jude. All right, so
Thank you
left to
for
right.
subscribing to Quiltoni. Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop. I mean, factory.
Shelty
Sub
Nut,
again.
Sub again. Shelty Nut, thank you so much for that sub. I super appreciate that. What is it, 8 months? 8 months. Wow. Enjoy your pixels. Thank you very much. All right, now. Oops, let's switch this. You notice here, this is a 3-er, okay? This is a 3-piece. What I'm going to do in this case, because I have to put this right here, right? This one belongs right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here. I'm going to fold it again. And then take this piece and flip it over. And then turn it and pin it. Just like that. I know! We almost have a Twitch, baby! You know what it is for me, Epistry? Is time. Oh, Shelty Nut, if you can be here on Friday. Friday, I'm going to be finishing up the, I'm going to be making the mini quilt that we're going to be doing the giveaway for. It's our monthly mini quilt giveaway. But then I'm also finishing up the Pokeball quilt that's going to be for Gen Con. They're going to be teaching at Gen Con this year. All right.
Thank you for subscribing to Quiltoni.
McKay!
Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop. I mean, factory.
McKay! Is that updating? No. Look, that one's not updating. Alright, I guess I gotta do the thing. Remove. Yes. The things I need to do, right? And browser. This is over. Oh, wait. No. I don't want to add a browser. That's right. I want to paste it. Paste a reference. And then move this baby on down there. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Where I look at something, I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. I want that thing. I have to have that thing. And then I never do the thing. Like, there's so many things all around here. Like kits and things where I'm like, I want to do the thing. And I never do the thing. And I don't yet. Alright, that's a 2. Now, this right here, my next one is a 3. So, this one right here, I'm skipping it. Because this one is already pinned on both ends. I'm grabbing this one next to sew. Okay? I know. I think of myself as a fabric and pattern collector. Because all the cool things. Because I apparently collect all the things. Yeah. I never actually use them. Alright, so there's the first one. Next up is this one. I'm prepared for the someday projects. Yes. Yes, I am. I am prepared for someday. Yes. It's funny, my Quilt Guild last year had a challenge where you had to make a list of all of your UFOs, unfinished objects. And then you basically, as you were finishing the objects, oops, that's a 3. That's done. As you're finishing them, you actually got a ticket, and at the end of the year, they drew for a prize. So it encouraged people to finish things, and I laughed at them. I laughed at them. I'm like, oh, sweet summer children. Oh, sweet summer children. Man, I can't. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's Now it's fast. Because we have these two. Okay, groups of two. Okay, group of two. This is to the left. A single. And it is done. I know, right, Minion Mama? What's finishing a project? Hey, if you're doing the quilt along with me, you're gonna finish this project. I'm gonna make sure of it. Okay, next. Okay, and then this is to the left, because this is the third row. You like how she put a yet? You like how she put a yet? One, two, three, four, to the right. Alright, now comes the fun part. Now we got to finish these off. We're getting to my favorite part. Nice, Demented Cat, nice. Yeah, exactly, Theseus. You can always undo this. Always undo this. Okay, so now for the grouping. Okay, so now we want to group them in groups of two. Always groups of two. So this is a 3. So I'm going to take this and put it on top of here. These are both 1s. It doesn't matter. This is a 3. So I'm going to take the 3 and put it on top of there. Okay. So now whenever I sew them, I'm going to sew those, then those, then those. Okay. Let's do it. Alright, so this is the one that has, it's a 3, right? So it has pins over here and pins over here. So I'm going to sew that. And then the one underneath, it's a single. And then I'm going to trim this. I'm going to take this whole thing, turn it around, and then sew this side. What was the music? I thought Marley was dreaming. It's the music. I was like, wait, hold on. Now I'm going to get the second group and do the same thing. Now this one only has 2 singles. So let me grab this. I'm just going to go ahead and separate that there. This one doesn't have a 3 in it. Alright, let's take the pins out. In this case, it doesn't make a difference the order you put them. Alright, set that aside over there. I'm going to set this here. Now, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'll show you why. Because I've already sewn these, I want to get this out of the way. So, in this case, I'm looking to see which way my seams go. In this case, my seams are pointing down, so I want to iron this. Okay, so I'm going to iron this just like this. Okay, so in this case, I want to see which way my seams are going. That's going up. This is going down. Remember, I have 2 seams to iron as well. So in this case, I iron the first seam, I move it down, I iron the second seam. Now, once you have these two done, it is time to start assembling rows, which is my favorite part. So, we're looking at the first two rows. So now I'm only taking my pattern, so I only see the first two rows of my pattern. Okay? And then I lay my rows out. Now, in this case, all of the seams, I'm going to double check, go to the left, and they do. Now, in this case, all the seams should go to the right, and they do. So at this point, I'm checking all the seams. Now, this is the last chance you have to see if you flipped any pieces. So you look at the pattern, you look at the pieces. This is where you look at the second area that's down below. And you look to see, have I flipped any pieces? Does that look good? No. Are you kidding me? No, it's right. Okay. Oh my God. I scared myself. I thought I made a mistake right here, and I did not. It's fine. It's good. That is correct. Okay. That looks good. It looks good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom piece here. I'm going to flip it up over this top piece here. And now I'm going to sew this row. Or I'm going to pin this row. So I'm going to take this. And the first thing I do is I make sure that my seams nest up so that nesting happens. And then as soon as that happens, I put a pin in it. And then I go back through. Yes, exactly, Thuseus. And then I go back through and I check to see if there's any other seams I need to put pins in. So, for example, there's nothing here until right here. So I put a pin in here. And now I'm going all the way down to right here and putting a pin in. Because that's where my nested seams are. Now I'm going to adjust the rest of this area here and put pins where the seams are. So there's a seam there, there's a seam there, and there's a seam right here underneath. So you put pins in all of them. All right, and then keep on going. All right, any questions on this? Does everyone understand how to assemble the rows together? Because you're going to get some homework. All right, so I'm going to take that, set that aside. Yes, you don't no, you don't, that's a great question, Thuseus. You do not pin directly on the seam. You pin on that little flap of the extra seam. So not on the thread line, but on the seam itself. So imagine this is your seam, and this right here is your thread line. You're going to pin right here in order to hold it in place. So on the actual seams, in the case where you've got something like this, where you have your two seams that are lining up, you're not really going to pin right here. You're going to kind of pin off to the side a little bit. Hey, Usa. Yeah, on the margin. Exactly. Exactly. That's a great question. Okay, let's finish sewing this. Now in this case, we have another 3. So we're going to trim this. We're going to flip it around and sew the other side. Capes, are you okay if I go a little bit over? Because I do want to finish what I had planned for tonight. so same thing. I'm going to take these. In this case, my seams are pointing up, so I'm going to turn it over so they're now pointing down. This one, my seams are pointing down, so it's fine. Okay, fantastic. I think we're only going to go to about 10-15 minutes over. And then I'm going to give everyone some homework between now and Monday's stream. So remember, if you're just joining me today for the very first day of the quilt along, make sure you watch both of the YouTube videos before Monday's stream and you take care of your stuff. All right, the next two are here. Okay, this goes to the right, so that one is on top. And this one goes to the left. And that is on the bottom. So my seams are all pointing to the left. My seams are all pointing to the right. And that looks good. No giveaway. Okay, I was going to wait to the very end anyways. Thanks for letting me know. Fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to take this part right here. We're going to flip it up. And let's do the same thing. So in this case, my seam is pointing to the left and to the right. So I'm actually going to take it and I'm going to put it just to offset of where the seam actually is. Yes, we did. He did it right before the last time we had giveaways. There we are. Yeah, I love this part of quilting because I can actually see the picture coming together. It is so cool and so interesting. So guys, don't forget the next stream I have off tomorrow because tomorrow is Quilt Guild. So I have off tomorrow. The next stream is Friday from 2 till 8 p.m. Eastern Time because it is our monthly mini quilt giveaway. If you want to design something for the mini quilt giveaway, you can do that in Discord. I will pick something Friday morning, pattern it out, and then I'll make it on stream on Friday and give it away. After that, I'm going to be finishing up the Pokeball quilt for Gen Con that I'll be teaching with the English paper piecing. And then after that, we're going to be guessing how long it takes me to do stuff for Pixels. All right, so I have two combined things now, right? I'm going to take them both. Because efficiency... I want to free this, and I don't want to use my scrap if I don't have to. So, I'm going to go ahead and sew the entire strip. And take these two and set them over on the iron. Now, you notice my fingers right here, what I'm doing? So I'm not pulling it. All I'm doing is I'm putting my fingers down whenever I'm going over a pin. This is a protective measure that I have learned with my bad habit of sewing over pins. So you notice how I do that, and then I kind of hold it. Because if it hits the pin, I want to have firm control of what is happening with my fabric. But I don't want to be tempted to pull the fabric through or to push it through. No, Win. I actually talked about this earlier. It is a bad habit. Do as I say, not as I do. Just like that. Don't sew over your pins. Because you get that. am super, super, super anal when it comes to having perfect points and making sure it all lines up. And I find when I pull pins out as I sew, sometimes it shifts the fabric just a little bit and it's not perfect. That's why I sew over my pins. I know, it's a horrible habit. It's absolutely horrible. Okay, we got those 2 rows. It makes Oh God, no, I never have pins when it comes to a zigzag oh my God, no. Oh my God. Impistry, there is no gift bot open right now because remember, we are doing a quilt along that is going up on YouTube. So there is no, gift bot is not active. When it is active, it's home, exclamation home. All right. That's good. I thought, oh, there was another one. I was like, I thought one of these was a 3. Sure enough. Here we go. All right. Oh. Actually, let's go Matt. Let's go Matt. Let's go Matt. Time to sort. Oh no, McKay. Yeah, no, you're not supposed to do it that way. All right. Here's rows 11 and 12 on your sheets, or 5 and 6 the way I do it. Okay, so that goes this way. Everything to the right. Yes. And that needs to go this way. Everything to the left. Now, what happens is if one of these has more pieces than the other one, I know I've made a mistake someplace. I've either added a piece or forgotten a piece. So this is another good way of testing it. And that one's super easy to realize. Yep, that is correct. So flipping this piece over this piece. And that is my first nested seam. Now, this is a big area right here without any seams. So what I do is I put a pin in the middle. And then a pin on the end. 5 extra packs of needles. Yes, yes. I have lots and lots and lots of needles. I like all my lots of needles. That is not, nope, that's not a nested seam. This is though. There we go. There you go. And there. We've got that. And there. And that. All right, any questions? Oh, no, Shani, change that needle. No. If you have been sewing since January, you should be changing your needle on a regular basis. It's not good for the machine. It's not good for your stuff. Always change your needles. I changed my needle before I started today for this project. Okay, so now I'm going to sew this row to free these 2. Yeah, always change your needles. No, but seriously, I didn't know that at first. I was actually joking with some friends in Discord last night that whenever, like, I look back on it now, I think I didn't change my needle for like the first 4 months that I sewed until I had to. I totally didn't understand why some of my stitches were skipping. Like, I didn't get any of that stuff. I didn't understand that. Yeah, always change your needles. Your needles do need changed. Now, that being said, there is an amazing... Yeah, so I do the same thing when... I do the same thing. I buy them in bulk by the box of 100. Because as much sewing as I do, I have to. But no, there is an amazing Schmetz needle app. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Win. Wait, then I'm sad because I buy them as like you do in the boxes of 100. Oh, between projects. Between your projects, USA. You should always change your needles between your projects. Even if it's the same needle you're using on a different project, always change your needle. Oh, and then you're sad. Yeah, okay, it was part of the thing you had before. Okay, yes, okay. So so change your needles. Schmetz has an amazing needle app that tells you the kind of needle you should have. My recommendation is Schmetz Chrome. Schmetz Chrome and Schmetz Non-Stick are amazing, awesome, fantastic needles. Okay, so now we have this step. So we have our 2 strips that are sewn together. So now we're going to iron it. It does not make a difference which way you iron it at all. It really doesn't. You can iron it open if you like. I don't care. I'm just going to iron this. Oh, look at those perfect seams. Oh, look at that. I don't think I've ever done one as pretty as that one. Look at those perfect seams. Look at how straight that is. Man, I'm proud about this. Okay, all right, so this is going to go here. And let's do the next one. Man, those seams are good. I don't think I've ever had a quilt with seams this good all the way through. Man. Oh, God. Capes, I've been doing this for over 12 years, honey. I would not put a comparison of mine to yours, and this is the first one you're going through. Come on. You know better than that. You know I'm not going to do that to you. All right, there we go. There's my first 4 rows. So we're going to flip this up. So square, much linear. Now, remember, I'm moving this fabric around to make sure that these are nested in there nicely. Hey, Maximum Homer Drive! So any other questions on this process of anything we've gone over today? You guys got it? You understand it? There we go. Now I'm going to sew this. There we go. Now, I'm going to use my scrap and trim it. Nice, DRK. Nice. Oh. Your 5-year-old knows how to turn the hand wheel in your machine. That's awesome. That is fantastic. There we go. Trim that. There's the first one. So, we've done 6 rows. How do you guys feel about those 6 rows? I know no one else has finished all 6 rows, right? I move a little fast, I know. It's just how I am. It's my pattern, and I do this a million times. Oops. Sorry. I forgot to change it. Wait, you're done with your 6 rows already, Capes? Nice. Well, I know you sewed ahead because you were modding today. There we go. Alright, there it is. There is our 6 rows. Alright, so we're going to take this, we're going to fold it down. We know that everything is correct, everything is good with our 6 rows. So we're taking this, we're folding it down. I'm going to flip it around to make it the path of least resistance. And pinning them in place. And after this is where I'm going to stop for the day. So, last chance if you want to trigger any giveaways. And I have homework for you. You ready? So, homework. We've done the first 6 rows. Before Monday's stream, before stream number 3 of our quilt along, I would like you to sew 6 more rows. Okay? There are 16 rows total. I would like you to get done with 12 rows. And then on Monday, we will sew 4 rows and sew the borders on. And then we'll have a discussion about batting, about different battings that you can use and different reasons you want to look at the battings. And then next Wednesday, we're going to base, and I'm also going to tell you the different ways that we can actually baste together on stream on Wednesday. You can do it at home in a small area. So we'll have that discussion on Monday. And then Wednesday, we'll actually baste, quilt, and bind our quilts. I don't do wool batting. I find wool batting is really, really oppressive in the summertime. Like, it's super warm in the winter, but I find that I can't use it in the summer. I like 80-20 cotton poly because it actually helps regulate your body temperature, and then I can use it in the summertime as well. Alright, so I'm not going to sew that. We're just going to set that aside, and we're going to sew it when we sew the next 6 on Monday. So, I would like you to please finish up those 6 rows if you have not yet finished them up. Do 6 more rows, and then Monday we will pick up where we left off with 4 more rows. So if you're watching on YouTube, the next video I will pick up with the last 4 rows. So go ahead and sew 6 rows on your own, and then flip over to the next video. So if you're here on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, feel free to join us live on Twitch. We have a lot of fun. And the link should be down in the description down below. And yeah.